People know me from pro wrestling. Fans called me the whole fucking show. I don't wrestle as much as I used to. Sometimes I do other things. One of those things is stand-up comedy. I thought bringing a camera on tour and filming a week on the road sounded like a good idea.
Mr. Monday Night, RVD, Rob Van Dam.
The buzz came because he was just nuts.
Mr. Pay-Per-View. Van Dam, this is suicide.
His theme music says it best, one of a kind.
He's doing things and you watch him and it's like, oh my God.
All the way across the ring. He's in another time zone up there.
And one thing RVD does every single time is he entertains.
My name is Tom Garland. I'm a stand-up comedian. I met Rob when I was in Las Vegas doing a show, and so I was like, hey man, you know, you should tour.
My name is Joe Clarke. I'm a filmmaker and a wrestling fan. We're gonna be in 7 cities in 7 nights, and I'm very scared.
Are you guys ready for the man we're here to see tonight? All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Everybody, please give it up for Rob Van Dam! We're gonna have fun. I'm not known for doing stand-up comedy. You're about to find out why.
My spirit is at its happiest when I'm creating.
Thanks for waiting so long, guys. That's all I feel like doing. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time.
Really, it's always about connecting with the fans.
But the ticket tonight was worth both prices of admission, man. You are funny as hell.
Oh, thanks.
Hell yeah, dude. RVD. He gave me a high five when I was like 10.
Nice.
RVD. You can't beat that then.
Yeah.
Oh, how many people tonight have asked you to put you, have you put them through a table? I got 20 bucks to my name. I don't think that's enough for him to do it to me.
That's the thing too. They think I work so cheap. Like, how can I make a living off what the fans offer to wrestle me? You know. Whether it's stand-up comedy or wrestling or doing autograph signings or movies or whatever. But basically, my main focus, I'm always trying to be a better person. Spirit first. So I pay attention to my own spiritual vibration. And what stimulus in life increases my spiritual vibration? Because the higher frequency that I can get my vibration up, the better I am. And I always want to be at my best.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, Mr. Pay-Per-View, energetic, here we go, he's Rob Van Dam, the whole effing show.
I thought tonight was dope for Tuesday night, dude. I thought you did great. To know someone's jokes is like to know their thought process, you know, like, this is how this guy thinks and all that shit. Yeah. It is though, man. They get to see inside you. You open the book up.
Say that again.
Yeah, I'm fucking drunk, but I think it was, you get to know someone's jokes, you get to know their thought process. Yeah.
That's it.
You get to know
That's
how
it,
they
man.
think and shit like that.
Cheers.
Cheers to
I love
you.
it. That's it. My song says I'm one of a kind. That's true in every factor of my life. I'm not a pattern follower. I'm not a formula guy. And I kind of just do everything my way. And I always have done that. That's what works for me.
Yeah, this is the fun of driving, you know. So I've kind of learned though, it doesn't matter what transportation you take, you're gonna get fucked around every corner.
Oh, dude, there we go. 6.5 dancers, man.
Oh, that looks
That
looks rough. That looks like they don't want you to go.
Did you spell RVD right?
They put a Q in there.
They
Well, fuck. All we need is some water. And we can make
That looks awkward, doesn't it? You just see me turn around and just go, oops.
That's all this whole
And the
noise.
men and women, so.
Oh, wow, nice.
I DJ at a local strip club here at 6th Avenue. I took the night off, and you guys are invited to come back, man.
Oh yeah?
It's all good. It's usually not too busy in there on Wednesday, so it's kind of low key.
That 6th Street, that classy 6th Street place that we saw on the way here.
6th Avenue, yeah. There you go.
It looked like a very nice gentleman's club.
Absolutely. Very upstanding.
Terre Haute. Terre Haute, Indiana.
Nice, nice.
Day in Ohio tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Hardcore
Covers everybody, ladies, gentlemen, and children of all ages. Everyone might hear it. You know what? No, people. Thanks, guys. Dude, my song. They do have my WWE song. Let's go. I was at a casino yesterday, and this lady came running up to me, and she goes, "Oh my God, Rob Van Dam, my husband is gonna shit." And I was thinking, like, why is this lady telling me that? Bright flash.
I'm so excited.
Oh, big hug.
I'm so excited.
I got into kickboxing because I wanted to wrestle, and there was a guy in town that had a ring. And so me and my buddies who knew we were going to be pro wrestlers when we grew up, we used to wrestle in the living room. We'd watch wrestling on Monday nights, move the furniture around, pull the cushions, put them on the floor, and we would actually choreograph some matches and had fun with it. And this dude had a ring, so we went and knocked on his door, told him we're gonna be professional wrestlers, we do this, you know, and he said, "Wait, you do what? Could you do that in front of people?" We were like, "Fuck yeah, that's our dream." Then he said, "Well, I'm a promoter, I run kickboxing shows." So I got into kickboxing because I wanted to get in the ring. My father, like, he was so supportive with me following my dreams with wrestling, but his one concern was that I would hit my head and fuck my vision up. How do you spell Michaela?
I don't know.
It's your daughter.
I don't know.
Good selfie taker. Damn. Dude, look how big my head is.
Thank you very much.
You got it. Remember, I'm the one in the middle, guys. A lot of wrestling fans and wrestlers might be surprised if they knew that I was actually a smart kid. In second grade, my teacher thought I was academically gifted and actually talked to my parents about me skipping a grade. I find as an adult, I really do like using my brain, and that is one thing that pulls me away from wrestling and towards other things, and stand-up is part of that. I ended up having that same second grade teacher for a fourth grade teacher, and she could not believe I was the same kid because I turned into a goof-off. Are the biscuits and gravy still coming out? Are the biscuits and gravy still coming out? Okay. We're gonna leave. I would eat 3 biscuits so far, and 2 cups of coffee.
Okay.
You want some coffee? Let me know if you need anything.
Wrestling legend, and I have no doubt future WWE Hall of Famer, Rob Van Dam. Rob, how you doing, brother?
Excellent, man. Thanks for having me here. A lot of people say that. That's like one of my new titles is future Hall of Famer. I don't know.
I have no doubt, dude.
As long as you know.
So the word on the street is you're a Cracker Barrel fan?
I love Cracker Barrel. Yeah.
So tonight it's going down at the old Rockstar Pro Arena, man. We're gonna do a little stand up.
At first, that was my material. I would just make fun of the other comedians. You know what I mean? And for how bad they suck. And anyway, that's how I got into it. And so that's why I guess that it's not about wrestling for me. Because this was pre-wrestling, I guess, that the seed was planted, and it's cool to express myself. And as a very wise man named Tom Garland told me the other day, when you hear somebody's stand-up comedy, you get insight to their process of thought. There you go. That's what I'm sharing. Or thought process, as it's also known as.
Yeah, you got very Yoda on us there. Process of thought.
Hey, Tommy Dreamer texted me he's going to be in Baltimore on Sunday. He says he can come to the show if we need him for something. A surprise walk-in. He says I can tell joke, cry, bleed, take your finish, whatever you need. The fans would love to see Tommy.
We come up with the tour plan before we leave, and
The rattlesnake with a steel chair!
Van Dam now going up top. He misses the Van Daminator.
my objectives here are just to execute in terms of keeping Rob at 100%. So I guess my worries going into this tour is I got a guy that shows up to tour that's, you know, concussed. Doesn't feel well.
First show of the tour is usually the most difficult because I'm a last-minute preparer. Today, however, is an exceptionally challenging day because on Saturday, 3 nights ago, I had a wrestling match in Los Angeles, and I smacked the back of my head on the mat, and I got a concussion. It's now been 3 days, and I'm seeing double. Like, my vision is still fucked up. I called Chris Nowinski, my friend at the Brain Bank in Boston. He's one of the lead researchers on chronic encephalopathy. And so I asked him today, like, dude, if 3 days have gone by and my vision's still fucked up, what do you think about that? He told me, do not go on stage. He said, you're not going to be able to do this comedy tour. He said, I really can't imagine you're going to make it the whole 8 days, and I need rest. Usually, like I said, it shakes off in a few seconds. It's like, bam, I smack my head, equilibrium's off. I'm like, whoa, give me a minute, I'll tell the referee, like I did Saturday night. And then usually after a few seconds, it comes back. And I'm just waiting for it to go away, and I'm hoping it'll go away. I'm hoping I'll sleep it off tonight. I feel good. I still got double vision, and I think it gets worse as the day goes on, maybe because my brain's tired or something. I don't know, because from what I've heard, brain stimulation is bad for it, and I'm supposed to do nothing. Don't think, don't read, don't look at shit, and you know, I'm doing my best, but anyway, I feel good. I'm just like still hoping, you know, I'm sure tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and feel fine, 100%, I'm positive. Probably should get up and go to the hospital tomorrow before we leave town. But who wants to do that in the morning, you know? I bet I won't.
Do you want to go tonight? Are you that?
No.
RVD! RVD! RVD!
told me tonight I was coming to Rockstar Pro Arena. I pulled up outside, looks like a fucking health clinic here. I thought I was at a goddamn Goodwill or some shit. Did you just cool me off? Is that because there's no air conditioning in the barn? Are you guys ready for your headliner tonight? You guys know who you came to see, man. This is Mr. Monday Night. Rob Van Dam.
Thank you. If you guys want to keep it going for the other comedians, you got cooties. You got cooties. Hey, I've heard you guys laughing at everybody tonight. When I'm up here, keep it down out there. I'm talking about your level of expectations, by the way, for everyone's benefit. One thing the fans always do, they'll be like, oh my God, Rob Van Dam. Dude, if I lay down on this table, will you 5-star frog splash me? But obviously I don't work for $50. I know I'm busting somebody's plans right now.
I think with
We've
you
been
being
asking for you for a long time.
Yeah, Gigi said he would have to sell the farm. I guess the farm got sold.
I hate to admit this, but I met you and you were fucking awesome at TNA Lockdown in Cincinnati, which is probably one of the best fucking collections of wrestling talent
the
ever.
big cage match.
Yep. And got your autograph, and you were, like I said, you were fucking awesome.
Cool.
RVD.
Hey.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Dude. Thanks for
thank
wearing
you
the RVD
yeah,
shirt.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for entertaining me throughout the years.
Right on, dude.
You sacrificed your body in trying to do so. I have a lot of respect for you guys.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Time to say goodbye to Dayton. Thing I like about checking out at 8 in the morning and hitting the road for an 8-hour drive, it's nothing. Nothing I like it.
Coming up Monday night, Unfiltered on the Pike in Marietta. We're looking forward to a very great evening. Our friends over at Remix Pro Wrestling are going to be bringing us a very unique evening. And it's not wrestling, it's comedy, Monday night comedy. One of the guys that will be taking part in this, you're going to recognize his name, but maybe not for comedy so much. Taking the stage that night will be former ECW, WWE, and TNA champion, Mr. Monday Night himself, Rob Van Dam.
I was interested in getting up on stage like when I was a kid. I used to go to a comedy club called Gary Field's Comedy Club in Battle Creek, Michigan. And I just knew someday I wanted to do that. And I don't mean as a profession, but I knew someday I would get on stage.
He's on Megan's Law, and say Matt Light is my name.
Okay, he's on Megan's Law?
Megan's Law magazine, yeah. Okay, thanks.
I'll tell you guys something about Pennsylvania you might not know. Little known fact, not everybody that lives here knows this shit about the place. Do you guys know you can leave? You know, you knew that? The nerd in glasses?
I assume you're talking about wrestling when you say losing interest. No, I mean, it's just something that I just have had enough of. I've been a professional wrestler for more years in my life than I haven't been a professional wrestler. 1 through 18, I wasn't actually a pro wrestler. I was a kid. I do it sometimes, and it's for the business. And when I'm in the ring showing off, connecting with my fans, I do enjoy it, but it's not something I look forward to. And I don't look forward to a whole lot. I'm pretty much skeptically optimistic about everything. I take it as it comes. I don't believe a lot's going to happen until it actually happens. That way, if it doesn't happen, there's no heartbreak. That's through years of experience of getting my hopes up and, you know, getting the carpet pulled out from underneath me and finding a way to be okay with that. You care less.
The line is wrapped around the block. Nice to meet you, by the way. Nice to meet you. The Nasty Boys babysat this dude.
Yes!
That explains it. That explains it.
Right across the river.
Let's do this.
Let's go.
The whole fucking show. Boom, suplex, boom.
Whatever.
We're on our way to New York City to go to the big event, a huge wrestling extravaganza where I'm sure I'll run into a bunch of my friends.
Single file, guys, single file.
Yes, sir. Hello, Rob. How are you? Excellent. Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad to be here for your final appearance, huh? We gotta go to your house to see you after this? Yeah. You're not coming out after anywhere? Hey, listen, I'm going on 82. It's time to come in today. You earned it. You deserve it. All right. Well, thanks for all. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Listen, I watched you many a time and put in that break. Well, thank you.
If you have ever been to a Comic-Con or a Wizard World, or it's an obsession, you're paying money to go into a place, and then you got to pay more money to go meet these people. It's where people who love the same thing could finally get together and they could talk about it, they could take pictures, they could reminisce when they were younger and they had a great time. Dude, I know for me, myself, wrestling has given me the greatest wrestling in my life. Wrestling fans are the most passionate. Wrestling fans will tell you stuff that you don't even remember. A lot of people have lived vicariously through us, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it was like everything's good? Everything's great. I love you, man. You're great. You're great. Hey, Rob. You doing all right? Thanks for getting back to me.
Oh my gosh! How are you?
Hey, how's that company in Torrance? How you doing, bro? Good to see you. 1 minute of your time. Sure.
This is now 7 days since I had my match in LA and got my concussion, and my vision is still nowhere near 100%. I think it's a little better every day, but these fans have no idea my eyes are crossed right now underneath this. Woo! That's what it feels like. I look for a while, and then like one eye just kind of starts to blur, but I'm gonna get checked out as soon as I can.
Tonight, I'm gonna do a surprise appearance at Dangerfield's Comedy Club.
I've been up here a couple times.
Yeah, he's here a couple of times, and he got on stage, signed autographs. It was a big hit.
Huh?
We took his picture. We invited him back. Now we can't get rid of him.
Well, we have a very special guest that's going to come on stage, and this guy is actually one of the most decorated wrestlers in the history of the sport. He's been intercontinental, tag team, everything you can name, and he's here for us right now. Mr. Rob Van Dam's in the house, y'all. Rob Van Dam! Pleasure, come to the stage.
By round of applause, anybody here not feel like clapping tonight? My friend Ray was fighting with his wife right in front of me. It was embarrassing. She said to him, "Do you realize it's been over 6 months since we've had sex?" He said, "Hey, speak for yourself."
But yeah, I'm just that's my first set in New York ever. That's as cool as it gets.
I just want to share my life. I think that people would find that everything is cool when you're RVD. I feel like I've got a great life and that I can do anything that I want to do. I've always felt that way. I totally believe life is what you make of it. I get a lot of love everywhere I go, and I hope that I'm able to inspire people in a positive way. Why the fuck in 2016 do I have to be woken up if Tom wants a fucking 7-Up? You hit that thing over your head and the speaker, first off, is this far from my head. Why? The speaker is right here on everybody, and Tom hits his button to call the flight attendant. It makes this loud this loud bing sound. It's more of a bing than a do, I don't know. Bing, whatever. It's so loud. Why can't the waitress, or the flight attendant have like a pager or something? Like, why can't we upgrade that system from notifying everybody in every seat and waking them up so that we all know that the fucking flight attendant's service is requested? That baffles me. Even more, that baffles me even more than why the fuck are there 4 armrests for 6 arms? Saturday, I had a match and I had a concussion and my vision is still fucked up from it. And I haven't had time to get checked out. Have you ever had it last, like, a week? What's the longest you had it last?
Well, ECW was next level.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wear my shades out there. Like I've been wearing, yesterday I wore my glasses and it seems to make my eyes focus better, but then they have this bright ass light when you're on stage. It just fried my brain. It almost feels like I have one contact in and one off. So when I'm on floors that have the square patterns, I kind of walk like, almost like you were saying here, because I'm like, whoa. I don't know where the step ends and starts.
I did a lot of studying on this. You get cut, it starts to scab. We cannot see the scab of your brain because it's in your brain. So you gotta keep on letting your brain heal. You gotta rest it like you have an injury, because you do. You have an injury to your head. I think this could be a wake-up call for Rob. And if it continues, I think if it happens again, he'll smarten up. Or even like you said, when he spoke to Nowinski, who's the concussion expert. So right then there, that's a step, because old Rob would have been like, dude, nothing. For me, I got 3 concussions in a week. This is before concussions were cool. You know, I was hardcore. Concussion meant nothing. You got your bell rung. You know, it's just different society.
I was trained by the original Sheik and his nephew Sabu, who became one of my closest friends in the entire industry. We're extreme even for the status quo of the wrestler, but the old school mentality was that, and there's not that much of it anymore. I remember having my head split open on top, and the medics, the EMT, they were there trying to sew it up, and Sabu's like pushing him out, get away from him, I got you. And he's being real protective, but also he thought that was a bunch of bullshit, because then it gets written up in reports, it gets out on the internet, and everyone thinks, oh my God, are you feeling okay? And it's like, dude, he put some super glue on it, held it for a few seconds, said you're good to go. I've had hundreds and hundreds of concussions and never reported them until recently, because now it's a big thing, and now we're studying it. Any of the injuries, like you just don't report them, because then that might mean you can't work, you might not get booked. I think that's why with this concussion, a lot of people are way more freaked out than me. They're like, dude, aren't you worried? And it's like, you know, it's just like just having another injury and feeling like I'm not hurt. This one happens to be a brain injury. So this concerns, but at the same time, it's like, whatever. You know, I talk to the other wrestlers and they're like, oh yeah, it happens to me all the time. I had one last 6 months. I had one last. So it's a total different mentality behind the closed doors of wrestling. You know, I donated my brain and spine like back in 2007 or so. I think I was one of the first when this became apparent, you know, that we were studying the brains and the correlation between long-term concussion damage, you know, and this encephalopathy, which it's amazing because we had no idea. Now the evidence is out there, so I'm part of the study. They're going to look at my brain and spine. I don't have any fears, you know. I have concerns, like next time I wrestle, I'm going to try to not slam my head on the mat and try to avoid going through this again. When I walked away from WWE in 2007, I say I walked away because I did. I finished my contract, and I chose not to re-sign because I was so burnt out, I had to disconnect. So what they did in 2007 to put me out for the storyline so that I could just be out for a while, they decided back then, and this was before we started like really looking into concussions, they wrote me out with a concussion, being kicked from another wrestler, Randy Orton. And when they gave it to me, I was like, dude, I'm tough. I hate being written out with an injury. Almost all of my injuries in my wrestling career that the fans know about have been written in. And my pride says, dude, I wanted to go down in history as being like one of the toughest guys that never got hurt, regardless of my very physical car crashing style.
Check it out. Watch. Oh my God! Oh man, that's not good.
You know, I mean, I throw myself into every bump that I take. I'm diving out to the floor. My whole career, everyone said I'd have a really short career because of my style, and the fact that I've gone so long past everybody else that said that, I like that they look up to me like, wow, I guess you have something we don't. It is pretty weird that right now I have this lasting concussion and we're talking about could it end my career. By the way, in that match when Randy gave me the kick, I actually did get a concussion from that. I got him in the dressing room and dropped him off at his mom's, and she called me the next day and said that he had nightmares of what went on in the dressing room. He said at one point he thought he saw a walrus sliding across the shower floor. And then he realized it was Tommy Dreamer washing his balls.
Tommy Dreamer washing his balls.
We all remember the Joe Boxer underwear craze for a while with a happy face. Balls wore those as shorts. And when he would sometimes sit, you would also see his mini Balls Mahoney.
You know, we've done comedy shows in the past, and I'll be very honest, today was the best one. And these are the comedy acts that we've done in the past are, you know, by professional, nationally known comedians. I think, you know, Rob is being himself and not Rob being the wrestler RVD, and letting everybody know that, you know, from the get-go, and just, you know, really picking his brain, his perspective on life, and everybody was really impressed, and then myself as well.
Rob has something really special. It's really unique. He brings a lot of himself to his shows, and he adds, you know, his comedy element in it, but it's still very real. I feel like he's doing ECW of comedy.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming out. Have a good night, and don't be speeding while you're weeding.
We've been doing this tour, and this is the last night of this comedy tour. It's been fun, but I just knew that this was going to be the best crowd right here. Yeah. I went into a diner this morning, and the hostess right at the front door greeted me and said, "Take a seat anywhere you'd like." So I immediately went up to the most crowded table, and I said, "You heard the lady, get the fuck up." I used to have one of these voice-activated cars. The thing was entirely navigated by the sound of my wife bitching from the passenger seat. Part of the reason that I'm so not passionate about very much is that my expectations of life have been lowered so much on top of my normal stoic balance of my energy. On top of that, I had a pretty trying beginning of the year because I'm like semi-retiring from wrestling, but you know, you have plans, and plans in life don't always work out the way you want it to. I wrestled my whole career and then thought afterwards that I'd be able to chill more time with my wife, with my dog. That's not the way it's gonna be. The wife left, the dog died, my dad died, and I went, I had like some really low moments that were really challenging for me to overcome, and I did a lot of drinking, and I would just bring that up on stage, and I would, you know, I'd go up on stage and I'd say, "I gotta warn you," and this was in April, I said, "I gotta warn you, I started drinking early before tonight's show."
Was that real?
Yeah, and I said, you know, I started drinking in February of last year, because I've been telling that joke for 2 years, and that... You know, I didn't know I was going to be doing this whole tour with a concussion. I think we made it through, and I'm sure in the next couple days that I'll be back to normal. I have like about 3 weeks roughly until my next scheduled match. I do plan on seeing a doctor in the meantime and having him clear me before I go to that match. I am taking the whole concussion injury seriously enough to think that it's definitely something I should follow up on. At the same time, if I'm fine and then and I don't make it, then, you know, I could see where I'd kind of forget to go because I feel fine and that happens. But I'm gonna try not to let that happen because it seems like it'd probably be a good idea to check my brain out and figure out why the nerves that control my eyes have fucked with me for the last 10 days or so. Yeah. I'm on my way home.
Yay! How was the tour?
We had a lot of fun.
How's your head? Is your vision any better?
Inside of me, rage,
inside of me. I feel inside of me. Rage. I'm going insane.
This is my beautiful girlfriend, Katie Forbes, who I'm very, very grateful to have.
She got a body like Katie Forbes. Looking like Katie Forbes. She looking like Katie Forbes. She looking like Katie Forbes.
She happens to be a wrestler. It happens to be how I met her, but it's such a small part of our relationship or our daily lives. You know, she's on her way up, and I've already been there, and so we both have a lot of respect for that.
Like, cause I think of him as my boyfriend, and then so we go out and like everybody wants pictures. I'm like, oh yeah, you are cool.
RVD! RVD! Not Van Dam! Like that! No way!
I love you. RVD! RVD! It's back there.
Well, I mean, I would like very much to get to the bottom of my issue with vision and solve it, because it sucks not being able to see right.
And did you black out or have you blacked out since the injury?
No.
Headaches?
No.
Imbalance, dizziness, vertigo?
No.
Do you know the date of your injury?
Yeah, it was November 12th.
And can you tell me how the injury occurred?
I fell and hit the back of my head.
Have you had any previous concussions? Is this your first?
I've had hundreds.
Hundreds, really?
Really?
Okay. It's just salt water with a little baby shampoo, so if it gets in your eyes, it's not going to hurt you. But you can close your eyes while I put it over your head. And then I will give you this other towel to dry anything that drips down after I put this on. I'm gonna do that one.
Oh no! Oh my God! Sunset! Oh, the power bomb! Van Dam duck!
Well, I like worry about him for long term. But it's not like I feel like it it inconveniences anything. I just don't like him to, like, when he's having like a bad day or something, and it's like I feel bad for his vision because I know it's like out of his control.
At this point, you know, I know that I'm going to be fine either way, and with that in mind, I'm looking forward to just getting to the bottom of it. You know, if it does turn out, say worst case scenario, let's say that something is really messed up in my brain, and let's say like I never wrestle again, I would most likely use that information to try to educate everybody else on what I've been through, try to help other people learn from my mistakes or from my experiences. So that's important. But besides that, I'm at a point where I'm in between anyway. When you really think about it, I mean, that's what life is. It's all about changes, and it's all about adapting to those changes, you know? You can make plans, but you don't know for sure that things are going to turn out the way that you think they're going to turn out. And so you have to deal with that. You have to cope with the ups and downs of life. And after all the tests that I've passed recently, I think I'm doing damn good. So I'm in a good place, and I'm as optimistic as ever about the future. Katie is my reward from the universe for everything I've been through in life up till this point. She's amazing. We share so many values, and where we're different, we both respect that, and it balances us. And being with her is so incredible. It feels like we have each other's backs, her and I against the universe.
Rob is my best friend, and I love him so much. And I feel so lucky that I met him, and I feel like I'm at my best when I'm with him, and he makes me so happy.
I just feel like we can do anything that we want to do. I've always known that I could. I met somebody else that can as well, and together the way we balance each other off is just awesome.
How long has it been since that injury?
1 year.
1 year.
It was, yeah.
Are you recovered?
I'm still working on it.
So it fits the narrative of you don't take care of yourself right away and the symptoms can last a really long time.
I think hopefully you can explain the difference between post-concussion syndrome and CTE.
Oh, sure. No, those are very, very different. Where you have post-concussion syndrome. Right, not CTE. So post-concussion syndrome is generally the label you give to concussion symptoms which have an acute onset related to a specific injury. And usually the symptoms start within 24 to 72 hours of the actual event. And then they simply don't really go away. CTE is a degenerative brain disease that's related to the accumulation of trauma over time.
Okay.
Basically, we believe the risk of developing CTE is related to overall brain trauma, like the risk of developing lung cancer is related to how many cigarettes you smoke for how long, not one cigarette and not one hit.
All these concussions, like they're all on me. Like I could never blame one of the wrestling promotions and hold them responsible. I never told anybody that I even had a concussion because I wanted to be able to keep working and stuff, and that's the way it was.
Yeah, everyone kept to themselves. You don't talk about your injuries.
Right.
You don't talk about your problems.
Right. Yeah. The sound would go out. Balls Mahoney would hit me with the chair.
Jesus.
Bam! And he would hit it so hard, and he took pride in how hard he hit, and I took pride in how hard I could take a hit. And I didn't realize that when I would wake up and feel like I should be rolling over in my bed, but then all of a sudden there's thousands of people looking at me. Like I never realized. And so I would like to tell people that if you get hit in the head and you're just feeling out of it a little bit, that's different. Concussion.
Yeah.
That's a concussion.
Until proven otherwise, assume concussion.
Cool. Let's see if your doctor friend can find my brain.
So expand this. So we can do is kind of, I can like control. You can just flip around as well, but it's all these different folders.
There's a brain. So that's a septum. Okay. And then when it breaks up, it's called a cavum septum. Okay. But yeah, but I'm not seeing any major damage anywhere. I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, it's just. How old are you? Sorry.
46.
Yeah, exactly. So you'd expect, this is a very typical brain for someone up into their 50s.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, must be in great shape.
Must be. I appreciate it. Thanks very much. Yeah. I got lucky. No sign of damage from my history.
My vision is it's good, but it is still improving. I'm still in therapy right now. Dr. Williams actually did give me the clearance and said I didn't have any higher of a chance of suffering another concussion based on this one. I'm hoping that my vision impairment will heal 100%, and I probably won't be wrestling that much more into the future anyway. This, just with everything else, kind of works organically as far as life goes, and the messages, you know, of what direction to take.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing 232 pounds, he is our current reigning and defending Pacific Coast Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
After what I've been through in my life and the challenges that I've been through, it really takes a lot to rock me now. I really believe that. Everything's very exciting. You know, I've always been optimistic about the future, and I've always known that there's always something better, that the future is even going to be greater, and I still feel like that. Why can't anybody just, you know, enjoy the moment? Because life is just a bunch of moments, and you never know what the next moment's going to be until you're done with this one. Life's all about ups and downs, but you know what? The ups are totally worth it. Everything I've been through has changed the way I see the world. Because, you know.
Gotta get the laugh.
Little Guido, or Nunzio, sells this picture all the time, and he's not even in it. It's RVD and Tommy Dreamer. Oh yeah, no, maybe that's him over there.
Are you undermining me in there?
Wait,
If it
which
wasn't for
one's
me,
you?
we would have never won that match.
And a buddy of mine says, hey, are you gonna have another drink? Or are you going to your room to call it a night? I said, fuck you, buddy. What if I don't want to do either of those? Who are you to limit me? What if I don't like your option A or your option B? What if I want to go option C, some titties at the strip club? So now what I do sometimes is I'll text somebody, but I just send them dots. Or I'll leave a character in the little box, and then they just see those temporary dots, and they're waiting, and then I'll delete it. It's like, to me, it's like a new age version of Ding Dong Ditch 'em. Or whatever racial slur you used to call it as a kid. I grew up in the Midwest. We didn't call it Ding Dong Ditch 'em. Just saying. Wow. Dude, you made everyone feel uncomfortable, bro. This is one of the biggest secrets in the world of stand-up comedy. When stand-up comedians aren't on stage, they're in the gym doing this.